Hello and welcome to Happy Handicrafts. My name is Joanna and today we're going to be making a Paper Sloyd letterbox. This is the 13th supplementary model from the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. This is the second to last model from this book. We've got one more to go and then we can say that we've completed every single model. If you've just found us, be sure to subscribe so you don't lose us. We're all about helping homeschool families learn useful arts, crafts, and skills. We're crafty, so you don't have to be. Now, let's get crafting. The materials that you're going to need for this project are the book, Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades. I'll include a link to purchase below, as well as a free PDF to download. You're also going to need an X-Acto knife, a compass, a ruler, a pencil, some glue, some good quality cardstock. We're using 2 matching pieces of thick scrapbook paper, and a cutting mat. Now this project comes in 2 parts, the letterbox and its base. We're going to start with the box. We start with 6 inches by 11.5, and since we're using scrap paper, ours is already 6 inches wide, so we don't have to cut that. We're going to cut the length though to 11.5 inches. So to do this, we're going to measure down from the top on the left and right to 11.5 inches and we'll place a dot. Then we'll join those 2 dots with a horizontal line. Using our X-Acto knife, we're going to cut along the horizontal line to create our rectangle. Our next step is to do our measurements. So we're going to start by measuring along the top from the left, and we'll place dots at 1.5 inches, 5.5 inches, 7 inches, and 11 inches. And we're going to do the same along the bottom edge. Then we'll just join the respective dots, drawing 4 vertical lines.
You may want to pause the video for a moment while you complete your lines. Someone lost the video for that part as well as for the next step, but don't worry. I'm going to tell you what to do. We're just going to measure 4 inches down from the top on the left and right side and place our dots. Then join those 2 dots with the horizontal line.
Yeah, don't ask me what happened there. Now with our ruler resting along this horizontal line, measure from the second vertical line to 1 inch and place a dot. Then move your ruler down to the bottom of the paper and measuring again from the second vertical line, place a dot at 1 inch. And now join those 2 dots with a small vertical line. Now on the line we just drew, we're going to measure up from the bottom of the paper to 1/2 inch and place a dot. Then measure up 1/2 inch from the bottom of the paper on the right hand side as well and place a dot. Then join those 2 dots with a small horizontal line. Now with a ruler resting on that small vertical line, measure down from the horizontal line. Measuring down from the horizontal line, we're going to place dots at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And now we're going to place our ruler along the bottom of the paper and we're going to measure in from the third vertical line and place a dot at 1/2 inch and 3.5 inches. And next we're going to measure up from the bottom on the right hand side and we're going to place dots at 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2.5 inches. And we're now going to draw in our tabs. Follow Lucy's lead for this, as sometimes it's easier to watch than try to follow my convoluted verbal instructions. Our next task is to draw the curved openings at the top of the letterbox. So we're going to start by measuring down 5/8 of an inch from the top on the first and fourth vertical lines, and we're placing dots. Then draw a horizontal line connecting these two dots. At this point, you'll be able to recognize the front of the letterbox and the back of the letterbox. This is the front, and this is the back. Inside each of these frames, we're going to measure 2 inches to the middle along the top edge, and we're going to place a dot. We're going to set our compass to 3/4 of an inch, and then with the compass positioned on the dots we drew along the top, we're going to draw in our semicircles. Now with our ruler along the horizontal line we just drew, we're going to measure in 7/8 of an inch from both sides of the front and back of the letterbox, and we're going to place dots. We're going to set our compass to 5/8 of an inch, and with its point set at each of those 4 dots, we're going to draw a semicircle overlapping our first semicircle, as you see Lucy doing here. Once this is completed, we're going to darken our cut lines so that it's clear where we need to cut. Once our cut lines are clear, we're going to go ahead and cut out our letterbox. Lucy chose to use the X-Acto knife for the straight lines and scissors for the curved lines. Now that it's cut out, we're going to do the folds, reinforcing each fold with the back of our ruler. The second part of our letterbox is the base. We're going to start off with a 5 1/4 inch by 2 3/4 rectangle. So to achieve this, we're going to measure along the top to 5 1/4 inches and place a dot. Then moving our ruler down a couple of inches, we measure in again from the left to 5 1/4 inches and place a dot. Then we join those two dots with a vertical line. We're then going to measure down from the top of the page to 2 3/4 of an inch and we'll place a dot. Move the ruler onto the vertical line we just drew and place a dot at 2 3/4 of an inch. Now join those dots with a horizontal line. And now we're going to cut out our little rectangle with our X-Acto knife. Now with our rectangle in a horizontal position, measure down from the top on the left and right edges to 1/2 inch and 2 1/4 inches. And draw 2 horizontal lines. Next, we're going to measure along the top and bottom to 1/2 inch and 4 3/4 of an inch, and we'll place dots. Now join those dots with 2 vertical lines. Then in each corner, we're going to draw a diagonal line from the inner corner to the outer corner. At the same time, we're going to place a dot at the 1/2 inch mark along that line. I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see better. And now we're going to draw a small line from each of those 1/2 inch marks to the 2 opposite corners of those outer squares. Okay, let's cut out those corners. You're also going to cut into those horizontal lines, as you can see Lucy doing. Once we're done cutting, we're going to do the folds, reinforcing the folds with the back of our ruler to get them nice and crisp. Now all we have left to do is to glue everything together. For the base, apply glue to half of each corner tab and fold it in with the tab on the inside. Be sure to hold it tightly until it's stuck. Once the base is done, we're going to glue the box together. Put the glue on each of the tabs and fold them onto the inside of the box, again holding firmly until the glue has set. We found it handy to use our ruler to hold those inside tabs in place until the glue was set. And there's our completed letter box. This book was published in 1905 at a time when letters were apparently smaller than they are today. That's okay though. It's just the right size for Grandma Parsnip, who loves to write and receive letters.
I've got a letter to mail.
You can drop it right there, Grandma. Thank you for learning and crafting with us today. I hope you're learning a ton, and I hope to see you in our next video.